Good morning, Midnight's Edge fans. We're here to tell you that we have so much more to offer you now at our Mixed Tees store. Not just t-shirts and hoodies, but we do have plenty of those, and new designs for that matter. You can also get mugs, and of course our brand new limited Amber Turds stained blanket. That's right, just for your bed or wherever you need it. So head on over to Mixed Tees now and get all your apparel and goodies from Midnight's Edge.
Get up, wake up, this is your final warning. It's time for Midnight Edge in the morning. The gang is ready to go and it's time for the show. It's time for Midnight Edge in the morning.
Good morning and welcome. It is time for Midnight's Edge in the morning. Mic noise. There we go. Mute. Polly. Good morning, everybody. How's everybody doing? We have the boss man with us. How you doing?
I'm doing excellent. Greetings, everyone. Glad to see you all here.
Glad to have you here. How you doing, Paul?
I'm doing excellent. It's an absolutely stunning spring day today, but it's going to go back to freezing, I think, on Monday.
Excellent. I love the optimism. Polly, are you done making noise?
Yeah, sorry.
It's all good.
Good morning.
Good morning. How are you doing?
Doing fine, man. That's new time. That time change.
Yeah, it's awful.
Well, speaking of time changes, we're going to talk about that in just a moment. But we also have to say hello to Chris. How you doing? A bleeding fool.
Hey guys, Paulie, did you shave your flavor saver?
I did.
He
Wow.
does this periodically.
He does that, yeah, because
You look a little younger. if
It's
I'm
been known
honest.
to happen.
Yeah, that's happened.
it doesn't take him 6 months to grow a mustache like it does me.
No, it's like 6 days.
I'm glad to be here. Happy Monday. I hated the time change. I've got a whole long story that I'll never share on this show about how it screwed up my morning. But
Yeah.
when you have your iPhone, which updates automatically setting off an alarm, but you failed to change your analog clock next to the bed, and then you had an earlier setup on Saturday, and then it took me half a day to get squared away.
He's an analog man living in a digital world.
That's right. Yeah.
Yes, the time change has thrown everybody off. But on that note, Andre,
Well, someone had to set Stonehenge for it an hour. That took them a long time.
Spinal Tap's been busy, yeah. Yeah, speaking of time changes, Andre, as people file in here, we'll share some news about the time change.
Yeah.
As we get into box office and some Paramount Warner Brothers news. I don't know what you want to start with first, but yeah, daylight
Well,
savings
let's
time
start
is
with
evil.
the super chats. When it comes
Let's
to
do
time
that.
change, we have some ducks we need to get in a row first.
All right, let's kick it off with some super chats. I'll do it myself. I got 3 here, so hopefully this is the top because it never seems to fail that it's not.
Yeah.
Yeah, that's
Tim
the top.
Tim Hayes has been here for 56 months. Thank you for that, Tim. We appreciate it. The Mum
Glad to
sends
have
us
you.
in a super sticker. Thank you for the support, Mum. And then we got Flying Blind on a rocket cycle with $1.99 who says, "Good day to you all." Well, good day to you. We hope you're having a good one as well, Flying Blind.
I'm so sorry I missed the member stream yesterday.
Yes, we did have a member stream yesterday.
They did
So-
cross them.
We don't do that too often.
No.
Maybe I'm glad I missed the member stream. The Ghostbusters
Indeed.
reference is never.
Yes, there you go.
Yes, indeed.
Let's talk about this time change. Let's get into that.
Let's do that.
Yeah.
Because I wish Trump would just eliminate daylight savings time already.
He said he was going to.
It's fucking stupid.
Well, he's not the first to say that. I mean, many people have said it. It's quite a different thing to not say it and just do it. That's where people have been disappointing so far, I have to say. But yeah, anyone who can get rid of that thing, they have my vote.
So I can never remember which one we're in. Are we in normal time or are we in daylight savings time?
Normal time is winter time. Winter time is the correct time.
Right. But daylight savings time adds sunlight to the end of the day or allows you to get up in the morning with a bit more sun?
It extends the day, but now you're putting me on the spot here. So yeah. But
I'm happier getting up with a little bit more light than
see, this is the problem. This is whenever this discussion have come up, people have like this thing that you have. Let's do what's more practical. Let's keep summertime, even though summertime is the wrong time. No, if you're gonna do this, you want to listen to the freaking solar system and what the sun is telling you, and go at the freaking correct time. Not what's the most practical for you. If that means that it's going to be a little bit inconvenient in summer, then so be it. Adjust to it.
So it's Germany's fault. You know, it's Germany's fault. They're the ones that started it.
Did they?
Yeah, they started it to conserve fuel during World War I. But the U.S. a couple years later introduced the standard.
I thought it had to do with.
I sent another video for Arch over at the Real Nordic Warhair, since he did a video taking on Germany already for the EU and Ursula von der Leyen. So yeah, that'd be a good follow up to that. Actually, I'll send him that idea.
There are some places that don't do daylight savings time.
Saskatchewan doesn't. BC just canceled it. Ontario has been threatening to cancel it for decades. So
they just can't follow through on their threats.
No.
I wonder about whatever action committee is still keeping us on daylight savings time. I know that there's always been the push that there's economic benefits to daylight.
I don't know about that, but at this point, you gave me the way out. We just got to tell them that's how Yahtzees used to be. Yahtzees created it.
Oh yeah,
as soon as you start saying that, then everybody
will be still using this Nazi created.
Stop it.
So
good
a
idea.
Quick vote amongst our experts here. Notwithstanding the fact that Andre is a naturalist, what is your preference? A little bit more light in the morning or extended light in the evening? What's your preference?
Split the difference and do it a half hour. Boom, we're done.
No. You got to pick one.
I'll pick one.
Yeah.
I want morning light.
Yeah.
Or morning light.
Yeah. Well, I think you should be honest and say morning light or accuracy to the freaking sun. But
the
sun doesn't morning light. Yeah.
Hey, listen, on behalf of humankind, we have decided to wipe out entire sections of animal life. So what's the difference between just picking a different time?
That animal life failed in the race of evolution. I mean, extinction is the natural go of mankind, and we've been trying to make up for it for ages. Just look at the pandas and how many Chinese zookeepers it takes for each new generation. I mean, at that point, us working people, we lose sympathy.
I suggest we arm all animals.
Sharks are already armed.
Yeah, they are.
You imagine if sharks didn't need water, like they could just fly around. And
that would be cool. Sharknado.
Yes.
Yeah, that would be something. I think it's best left for fiction, though.
Oh, I have a new one. Yeah. Sharknado.
You know what's sad is we killed like 100 to 1 more sharks than they ever touch us. So we're the real enemy. So
no.
Give them some guns and we're fucked.
We actually need them. Humans are stupid. What was it? Texans twice have kind of shot themselves in the foot. At one point, they really hated. Well, they wanted to get rid of all the rattlesnakes and shot most of the rattlesnakes, and then they got a rat epidemic, not realizing that snakes keep the rat population down. And then there was it didn't get through. They were going to wipe out whole bunches of bats, and then finally, at the last minute, someone said, they keep down the bug population. So, yeah, there's a reason why nature knows what it's doing.
I like that time when New York tried to solve the rat problem by bringing in, what's that animal, that weird animal that likes to pretend it's dead. Not weasel.
Possums?
Possums.
Yes, possum, yeah. Brought in a bunch of possums or something like that. Horrible, nasty critters. And they got an epidemic of that as well, because you don't have any natural enemies.
Possums eat bugs. They don't eat rats.
Okay, not possums. Some other horrible, horrid creature.
Kind
of like cat-like, but white and looks retarded.
Mennonites.
Is that not a group of people?
I think they eat rats. That's my.
Yeah. Either way,
the views of Paul Chad who do not reflect Midnight's Edge.
Mennonites, please don't sue.
Well, and Australia brought in those frogs, giant frogs, to control something. I can't remember what. And now they're a epidemic. Then there's no natural predator for those giant frogs. So no, I mean the Brits were very good about that. The Brits loved transplanting animals and plant species all over the places they conquered and wreaked lots of havoc. You know,
don't they have like an epidemic of Burmese pythons in Florida or something because they have no natural predators there? You know, like a few that went wrong.
I think those are pet owners. That came from pet ownership.
Yeah, well, never mind where it came from. They're not supposed to be there and like taking over.
Yeah, there's a few guys online who actually go through the Everglades and yank them out by hand.
Yeah, that's
trying to keep the population down, but they're scary beasts.
Yeah, that's a two-person job. If you're going to do the wrangle with those in person, you definitely want to be two to do that. You don't want to take on a big python on your own.
Right.
You need a good, like, two big men can totally do it. But yeah, as a support there, need to be at least two.
Ask Conan.
Indeed. Yeah, or one person with a sword. But with wielding it.
I remember.
But if you cut them in two, then two of them become two, and then if you cut them in four, then they quintuple.
Yeah, I'm not sure Burmese pythons work quite that way.
I saw it on an anime.
Yeah, but if you cut them in two and you don't cut them like close enough to the head, you risk getting a very angry Burmese python left. So yeah, I'm glad we don't have that shit here. We don't have any rattlesnakes either. Although we do have the European cousin, which isn't nearly as toxic. Sorry, as venomous. Toxic is something different.
That's right. One of the most shocking and disturbing videos I ever watched, I've never forgotten it, was I guess it was Australia. Some farm out there had a plague of mice and literal waves. I mean, you could shine a flashlight and they were running all over the place, hundreds and hundreds and hundreds. But they opened up this one door of the barn, and I mean, it's just a pile of brown mice running everywhere. And they're so fast.
Oh yeah,
compared to us, it's really scary looking. Just vermin. I can't stand.
And then they heard some guy say, "Chew them up," and it was all over.
I've seen that in a grain silo.
That's what it was, I think.
Okay.
Paul. Yes,
they got in and just fattened themselves up and
had sex, lots of it, constantly. I mean, you see a plague of mice or rats, man, they are reproducing very quickly.
I did a Willard reference. A whole of two people probably got it.
I never saw Willard.
Never saw it either.
I saw Ben.
You saw the sequel, but you didn't see the original.
I saw both. I just wanted to get a Michael Jackson reference in there real quick.
The two of us need look no more, Chris. Weird ass movie. Ben is fucked up.
Very strange.
Willard makes more sense. Ben is just like, okay, this is weird. You're trying to do a sequel to a horror movie.
Is that the thing from Crispin Glover, right?
Well, he did the remake. And the thing with the remake is they fucked it up. The remake was one of those few times in history where you could have had a movie where they got it pitch fucking perfect. I saw an early cut of the film. And I'm like, oh my fucking God, they nailed it. And then you watch the theatrical cut. I went and seen it, and they cut it down to PG-13, and they reshot the ending. And I'm like, what the fuck did you do to this movie? It's like, did you not watch the original? Like, what the hell is going on here? And they destroyed it. So I have no idea who the fuck fucked it up, but they deserve to be drug out in the street and shot because they had it on their hands a perfect remake, and they screwed it up. But because you had Arlie Emery playing the, what the hell's his name? Big burly guy. Jesus. Shit. I'll remember his name in 10 minutes. But anyway, you know, it perfectly cast, well done, and then they screwed it up. But anyway, moving on.
Yeah. What a shame.
Let's get to the box office because we did.
Let's do that.
Speaking of crappy movies that fuck things up,
crappy horror movies too.
Yeah, that was the. I'm trying to find my.
Here it is.
My stickers are all screwed up. What the hell's going on here? Oh, here we go.
I got it up.
Did we
both time? That's your wife is very happy, Paul.
Yes, she is.
She's like, it's only been 30 years.
Oh wow, yeah.
So here's the box office, and Hoppers hopped its way to the top spot, but not without basically making Pixar look kind of shitty in the process. Scream 7 also managed to hang in there over The Bride, but let's talk about Hoppers first, because Disney Pixar managed to put out a furry film, it looks like. Did anybody see Hoppers?
Another one? Well, is it really a furry film? I mean, we can argue that Zootopia is a furry film. Is Hoppers really that?
It's like a furry fantasy. Like, it's basically about this chick who's obsessed with the fucking what is it, beavers? Is that what it is about? Or is it the
hang on.
The groundhog? No, beavers. It's beavers, I think.
It is beavers.
Yeah, she gets dressed up like one, goes and hangs out with them, and then finds out there's this avatar technology that can actually put her into the body of a beaver or whatever the fuck it is. And
okay, then it's furry thing again.
Exactly.
She doesn't dress up as one.
She does too. It's in the fucking trailer.
No, I saw the movie.
In the trailer, though.
Well, then the trailer lied.
Then they cut that part out.
No, the what do you call it? The lady that created the tech dressed up as one, but because she was trying to figure out the best way to engage in their behavior, and so there was a quick montage of like her in different outfits. That was a pretty funny little montage until she finally figured out that they're gonna, it's a tech thing. So basically you're jumping into this robot version of the animal. And there's a bird, there's a beaver, and then I forgot the third one, like a frog or something like that.
You tell me then. This is what I saw in the trailer. Like I just said, you basically just called me a liar and then said, "No, there is
call
that."
You a liar. That's not the lead.
Saw the movie or the trailer. Two very.
That's all I'm telling you is that's not the lead. The 18.
Oh, I don't give a shit. I'm just saying it's in the trailer. There.
That's Tom's take on it.
I know. Hey, I'm just saying, like that's the older lady, kind of like whatever teacher at the college that invents the tech secretly, and that's part of a quick montage where she's like every time she approaches them in different iterations, they freaking get scared and run off. It's pretty funny.
So she's the Jane Goodall of beavers.
No.
More like the James Cameron.
I'm still waiting.
That's funny. So what'd you think of the movie? Have you already put your review up, Paulie?
Yeah, I had a lot of fun with it. I really liked it. And then I know some people who didn't, which that's the lady.
Okay.
And so she's a supporting character, but there were some really good laugh out moments and good lessons. I don't know much what more you want.
Pixar back to form, you think?
A little bit, I thought, but then other people didn't agree. So
this is a step in the right direction. Then hopefully,
varied opinions.
Gotcha.
Yeah.
What does Rosie think?
So Yeah.
Did you go by yourself?
I did. Yeah.
Okay.
Yeah, I wanted to do a out of the theater. That was the one. Paula's a confirmed furry. Well, I am naturally pretty.
Well, not anymore. You shaved your mustache.
Now we know why you shaved. Yeah.
That's why I shave, man. Yeah. But you know, the thing, it was a packed house, as you'd expect, different types of families, and everyone was adults and kids were laughing.
Oh, good.
It's not a particularly complicated story. It's pretty simple.
So it's not like Up.
No. It's not nowhere near close to Coco.
Coco,
Well, in
Soul.
its simplest form, it's basically Avatar, like I said.
Yeah.
Yeah, but like exactly, but you know, with the lead as a snot-nosed 19-year-old do-gooder.
And
You know.
genius.
She's
the key to everything.
no, she messes up a lot, and she, you know, her whole thing is learning how to work with others and not doing it all on your own. And there was a nice connection between her and her grandmother, who was like a park ranger, teaching her, you know, just the beauty of nature. And I really like that. I could see how people are annoyed by that. And then there was the mayor, who was a lot like Gavin Newsom,
Mhm.
you know, that you know, that was kind of like the antagonist for a little while. That, you know, there were some story problems with it, but all in all, you know, I what do you want from me? I had a good time. You know,
I want $10.
So Hopper's a beaver, right?
No, well,
Yeah.
hoppers in this pertains to hopping into the tech of the sea.
Sure. No, but the animal itself that she hops
Yeah,
into
and-
is a beaver.
Yes.
Right.
See, that's
So,
where
I mean,
I feel like they missed
basically,
the
women don't need no castrati.
Should have been rabbits.
I was just gonna say that, Chris. I'm like, why not lean into it? Especially if you're gonna. It would be like, okay, we're gonna do this.
in 2 weeks or something.
Yeah,
right?
like what the hell? Like you got Hopper. You can use it as a double entendre that way. Because
Well,
you
how
can-
much more of a double entendre do you want that a woman gets into a beaver?
I want.
Hang
so-
on a minute.
That's
Excuse
what I
me,
said. This
Tom,
thing has
But the
so
word
many
hop.
like.
It's the word hop. Hopper.
Yeah, well,
Well, they live in Beaverton. That's the name of the town. It's like,
This
you
whole
know,
thing has like weird undertones to it. Don't get me
There's
wrong.
something
Like,
going on.
I don't know, man. You know, you take
you know,
whatever-
Paulie
and-
might be too close to the source. I wonder if one of us see this, we walk out of this going, "This movie's one big fucking allegory for lesbians." Jesus Christ!
Oh,
Well, we don't know. We don't
Oh,
know that
my.
until we see it.
I know.
We
I'm
have-
just making
yeah.
shit up now. I'll admit
Oh,
that,
my.
but still.
Yeah,
Well,
yeah.
the thing with why the beavers is that they're the ones that create little dams naturally.
right.
And
Right.
basically they got 48 hours to get a beaver to start making a dam, and then they'll stop construction. And
Oh, so it's kind of got an environmental vibe, but what they're going to do is somehow get the beavers to build a dam so they can stop some big thing from happening.
stop the mayor from completing
Got
his highway. Yeah.
Okay. Well, that
Gee, it's
sounds
almost
cute.
funny. Like when I said a couple of years back that they're going to move to the environmental part of the ESG now,
Yeah.
because the S and the G money had dried up, and we started with that migration movie about the ducks,
Yep.
and now here we're getting yet another environmental message in this movie.
Mhm.
I'm sure if you go back through the last couple kids movies, you could probably dig up a few more. I wouldn't doubt it.
Well,
It's getting to that point because these movies
Happy
take a
Feet,
lot
I mean,
longer to
come on.
do. Well, I mean, I'm just saying, like these movies take a little bit longer to do than other movies, but maybe that shit dried up too. Who knows? But
Oh, yeah. Right.
it's hard to say with this
The
thing.
thing that I'm interested in is the Lassiter connection, because Pete Docter has always been known to be a really sweet guy. And it's not that he isn't untalented, but maybe he needed the yin and yang of the blowhard and Pete, you know, was required at Pixar, because while Lassiter was there, Pete Docter did Up, which was like you were crying right at the very beginning in
Yeah.
that sequence, which didn't have any talking at all. He did Inside Out 1. He also did Monsters Inc. I mean, this was a time when Pixar, just the mere premises were so different from what everybody was doing.
Mhm.
This sounds kind of tame, kind of over the hedge, kind
Yeah,
of
if you
thing.
compare it to those, it's pretty lame.
And Over the Hedge was really, really good. Even there's that
Mm.
also that one movie that had the big bear in it that not many people talk about.
Brother Bear?
Brother
No,
Bear.
not Brother Bear. It had the guy from That 70s Show voicing.
Oh, I know what you're talking about. Where they did the whole picnic thing, and
Yes.
Mhm.
I'm trying to remember the name of it. I know what you're talking about.
And it was way underrated. I
Yeah.
mean, we loved that movie. That was hilarious. So,
That's a good
someone-
point about
someone will-
Lasseter.
and so I'm
Great
just
point
wondering,
about
like,
Lasseter.
Pixar is Pixar is Pete Docter, who I mean, one of my best friends was first generation animator at Pixar, so he knows all the bodies. And I'm just wondering whether Pete is someone who
Open Season. That's the one you're thinking
Open
about.
Season, yes, someone
Mm.
who just doesn't want to rock the boat and ends up taking whatever notes Disney gives them just to make something okay. Now he is quoted of late saying that Pixar movies are not your therapist, right?
Well, I was going to get to that actually, Paul, because was an interesting quote from Pete, because they brought up how Ilio was edited, had edited out all the lesbianism or whatever it was, and gay
Gayness,
stuff or
I
whatever.
said, because
Wi-Fi
Ilya-
Yeah, and he's like, we're in the job of entertaining families, not sending them to therapy.
Yeah.
It's like, where were you 5 years ago on this shit? Pixar was the worst of the worst.
Yeah, I don't get it.
He's trying to do some revisionist history bullshit.
Yeah.
It sounds like to me,
Sounds like
because they're trying to pretend like, oh, we never tried to put gay shit in Pixar movies. It's like the way he's trying to make it sound.
Well,
It's
the
like,
therapy
oh,
session,
course.
what was Inside Out? Come on.
right?
Obviously.
Well,
Are we
and then there was
talking
the
about
Pixar
Onward, by the way?
series.
Were you talking about Onward, Paul?
No, he was talking about Open Season.
Open
But he-
Season. Okay, yeah. I don't think I ever saw that.
Wasn't it Martin Lawrence and Ashton Kutcher? I think it was who
Yeah,
did the voices.
very-
Yeah.
very funny movie.
Okay.
I don't know. Remember who did
20
it?
years old, by the way.
Wow.
Yeah, I mean,
And
you know,
Lightyear,
it's
for fuck's
entertaining.
sake, having all that shit in it. But anyway, sorry, Paul.
Yeah.
No, it's it's entertains, a couple laughs, nothing compared to the OG Pixar.
Mhm.
And I know Sin's Corner really had some thoughts in regards to kind of being that young activist and getting away with murder, so to speak. She didn't like that. And when she explained it that way, I was like, oh yeah, yeah, you're kind of right.
Hmm.
So there's that.
Oh, I mean, if we're talking about interesting concepts, high concepts that are very Pixar, actually thought Elemental had that original Pixar inventiveness.
Yeah, you can argue. Yeah, I can't argue with that.
It
But
kind of
it's
came off like a Pixar knockoff, but yeah.
Yeah.
So, I mean, again, that's the thing that we just came to expect from Pixar, and maybe it's something that's impossible to maintain, right?
Yeah.
Look at The Incredibles. Look at Ratatouille. I mean, holy smokes.
Toy Story, for crying out loud.
Yeah, Toy Story, of course. Yeah.
Yeah.
I'm so looking forward to Toy Story 5.
Mm.
Well, I mean, I'm sad to say that the fact that Lasseter hasn't had any huge success since he's left
Yeah.
kind of shows that he wasn't all of the magic there. There must have
I think it
been,
was- but there was a formula going on. I think.
yeah, there was a formula, there was a team, there was something
Yeah.
that was in the mix there that just is not in the mix outside of there, or that they're
I
missing.
think, yeah, there's two things there. How many here remembers the procedural medical drama? So Mr. Chato should be into that with Hugh Laurie, House MD.
Right.
House
course.
always needed his team to be able to do what an AI can do right now. But anyway, in order to do that, he needed not just his team, but a team. Anyone would do. If he's stuck in an airport or something, he'll have random people play certain roles because he needs that to get his mind jogging. And I think there were two things that came into play there. One is that at Pixar, it wasn't just him. It was a mix of other people and a creative culture where they were able to get those ideas together. As someone would spitball something stupid, and then they would reshape that through trial and error into something really, really clever, where something just clicked. And it clicked in a way that could only click there and then for a very limited time. Now, I don't know how many of you are familiar with the British band Pet Shop Boys.
Yes.
But the lead
yeah.
singer in the Pet Shop Boys, his name is Neil Tennant. By the way, David Tennant is not actually called David Tennant. That's not his real name. He took Tennant from this guy, the guy, the Pet Shop Boys guy. Oh yeah, real true story. And he also spoke about how creatives, they have this imperial period where everything they do just clicks. And it only lasts for a limited time,
going to
a
say
few
that.
years, and then it's over. And he was the first to admit that the imperial era for the Pet Shop Boys ended around 1988. After that, they had to struggle more and more. And eventually they weren't even noticed other than by their fan base, no matter what they did, because their imperial age were over. I think that's the same kind of thing that you have with the Pixar crew, with Katzenberg. It worked for a limited time where he was at his absolute creative peak, and he was working with other people at Pixar that were at their creative peak. You take him out of that environment at a later stage in life, he can't do it anymore. It's not there. He doesn't have it. It's the same guy in every other way. He just doesn't have that spark, and it cannot be replicated. And also, because of the changes within Pixar, they can't repeat it with anyone else.
And I mean, many things had to align. Technology, he was at the bleeding edge of technology, and as well, his main trick was to mine nostalgia. That has now been completely mined. So I completely agree with you. I have seen this many times. I mean, even my comedy group, we had our 10 years. We became well known. We had a fantastic time, and there was just no way to duplicate that. You can't bring that back.
Exactly.
And
They also lost Steve Jobs too, which I think not so much on the creative
oh
aspect.
no,
of it,
hated
but
him. They hated him. Every time Steve Jobs showed up at one of the Pixar meetings, they cringed. It was just one of the worst.
No,
worst
I know, but that's not
things.
what I'm getting at. But I think he bought them a level of freedom that had he not been around, they wouldn't have had. Like, I think that's another thing. So I think he kind of protected the pod, if that makes sense.
Yeah, in many, many ways. But my friend said the meetings where Steve would come in and pull a Lassiter and try to offer.
And that's what I meant by the creative side. Not at all. Like, nothing creative. But I think he protected them from any outside influence of Disney, mainly throughout the early years, especially.
Yeah, and the thing is, at the meetings, if Lassiter didn't like something, it wasn't that he was mean or people were mean, but any of the people, the kids who are involved, they wouldn't have survived the Pixar process when Lassiter was around. They would have viewed it as a personal affront, right? It would have been an attack on them when it's just a tough business, and you got to make people laugh in that room. And it was trial by fire, and you got the very best out of everybody. But
But
well,
they were given a creative freedom that way.
Most creative people have a limited arc, and the fact that Lassiter, like I said, his claim to fame was mining nostalgia. There's no more nostalgia to mine.
Well, and then you also had the fact that like they had enough cushion between them and the studio until they butted heads, where Lassiter could literally throw out everything and start from scratch. Like, how many other studios do you know that had that type of ability to be able to just go, yeah, we're just going to chuck all this out and start over?
Which movie? Certainly
Toy Story 2 specifically, but there's been other ones where they had done stuff like that. Was kind of what got in the middle. Like, that is almost basically what boiled down to Lassiter getting Me Too'd out the door. Was he was butting heads with the people on Brave, and it was a bunch of idealistic women who were sick and tired of listening to quote unquote old white men tell them what to do.
And they got tossed.
Yeah.
But then that's where the whole thing
before
started.
He did.
Yeah, that's the thing, is like that's where everything started from there, because before that it was like it didn't matter if you agreed with him or not. John would sit there and go, okay, this is not working. Let's start over again. you know, as I say with Zaslav, he was never afraid to throw the baby out with the bathwater if it needed to be that
Well,
way.
any good person leader would, you know, would have to be able to do that.
And I'm not saying that's all that's required of them, but that you need that kind of ability to see that part of it to be able to see the other side of it, right? And now it just like everything that comes out of there feels generic. It feels like Hoppers. Like that doesn't even feel like a Disney Pixar movie anymore. I'm looking at this going, is this like a Sony's
Sony.
animation
Well, to
or
be
some
fair,
other
that's,
company?
that's
'Cause, like,
judging
yeah.
from the trailer, though. But
Yeah.
And
still,
again, I'm
yeah.
judging from the trailer, correct.
Right.
But I just don't feel the level that I would feel like even with a trailer for something like Up or Monsters Inc.
Yeah.
or, you know, even A Bug's Life back in the day. Even though I was one of the first, I'm not the first, but I mean, one of the people in the audience going, hey, this is just Seven Samurai. What the fuck? Do they think we're stupid? Like,
Yep.
and same thing when I'm sitting in cars going, this is fucking Doc Hollywood. What the hell am I watching here?
Oh my
Like,
gosh.
and it was almost like picked verbatim. It's like, wait a minute. Okay, they got away with it. They got away with it. We didn't notice it so much with Toy Story because Toy Story is kind of basically a buddy cop movie with toys.
Yeah.
That's what it is. You know, that works as kind of this generic thing, but then they started just ripping off movies. And it's like, okay, whatever. But it worked for them. And they managed to make these characters that kids loved and that grown-ups could go see without feeling like they want to rip their hair out. Right? And that's where Pixar found that magic jelly, as you like to say, Paul. And yes, Lasseter was a huge part of that, but I know it was the team around him. But at this point, I'm watching this Hoppers trailer going, this doesn't even feel or look anything like Pixar. This does not have that magic that we used to get from even something like Ratatouille, which I didn't think was one of their better films, but people just fucking adore. Like, you know, if I even just go, Ratatouille's okay. Well, what do you mean it's a masterpiece?
It's a masterpiece.
Exactly.
It is a masterpiece.
But up
When
through
ranked
Wall-E,
by-
basically. Wall-E's like the division line, right? But yeah.
When ranked by critic scores, I know Rotten Tomato is as corrupt as they come, but Ratatouille is number 10 out of the top 10. So, and it has a higher score now than Hoppers. When I saw the Hoppers trailer, I just thought this looks like something that should have just aired on Disney Plus. This doesn't look like a movie to me.
It does look like a DreamWorks movie. It does.
Yeah. Well,
Well,
and I'm not the target audience on this. I'm kind of curious. Paulie, have you seen Goat also?
No, I haven't.
Okay. I would have been curious to know which of the two seemed more like a, cinematic experience to you, because Goat is, for Sony, at least, it seems to be doing pretty good too. And it's still in the top 5. So the kids and the families are still going to see the movies.
Depends on the budget. Yeah. Cause 83 is not bad, but it was an expensive animated because animation can get expensive, as Paul will tell you.
Oh yeah.
Well, it's made like 88 million already.
Yeah, but if it costs 60 or 75 million to make,
Yeah, I don't know what it's done internationally. If this is, does this include international?
Yeah, I was gonna say, is that the whole?
No, I'm just saying that's opening weekend.
Okay.
And add it all together.
Yes,
it's just 146 altogether. I'm sure it's made its money back then. Yeah.
I saw Movie Web was trying to pitch Goat as having now surpassed grossing more than the original Rocky. And I'm like, that movie is 50 years old. So whatever millions of dollars it was raising 50 years ago.
How can you even do that? Like,
it's just clickbait.
That doesn't even compute.
The comp score for Hoppers was pretty high for families. So,
good. Okay. Well, I hope it does well. Yeah.
Let's keep going.
Yeah.
Yeah. I don't like that. Well, first, I just want to say I don't like this idea of people trying to compare box office to movies from the 70s and 80s. Yeah. It's not the same. Not even remotely fucking close. Yeah. Like, you even have to kind of like, the 70s were strange because that was where they changed shit. People don't realize this, but like, do you realize how long it took for Gone with the Wind to make the money that it did and sell as many tickets as it sold? It literally took decades. People don't realize that. The Godfather was the first movie to ever be released on multiple screens at the same time in multiple markets and make a buttload of its money up front. That was the first time they ever did that. And they're like, holy shit, we're seeing returns the first weekend, not fucking 17 weeks down the line. So after that is when they started doing that. And then it just kept doing it more and more and more and more and more to where that's where we got the whole weekend thing. Before that, like, this is where we've talked about before with streaming and all that kind of stuff destroying movies. Well, yeah, a movie used to have life way beyond, the first year or two of its release, especially if it was a big film, right? Yeah. So, like, at this point, like, to compare a movie to them is crazy.
Yeah,
It just doesn't
It's
make
clickbait.
sense.
Now let's move on.
But the point was, is The Godfather sold as many tickets as Gone with the Wind in 1 year.
Yeah.
Right, because of how it was released, that release strategy, which paved the way for Jaws and Star Wars down the line. But anyhow, that being said, at this weekend, Hopper's topped it. Scream 7 hangs in there, but everybody's trying to make it sound like it's this big deal that it dropped 72%. Well, honestly, at the end of the day, this movie's made its money back already.
You think? Okay.
Yeah, because worldwide it's done like 100 and close to 150, if not more. And it's going to have another weekend in it, and then it's going to hit streaming.
Yeah.
So it'll do fine.
Yeah.
But what it did is do better than the prestigious horror film that everybody's talking about.
Oh
It
my
did
God.
10 million more in its second weekend than the Maggie Gyllenhaal. What would you call this?
The Bride.
It's
You
fan
have to shout
fiction.
it. You have to
Fan
be
fiction
angry.
sequel. Goddamn phone.
You have to be angry. It's very angry, this movie.
Yeah.
I
Yeah,
think
as Tom
that
was
this-
saying, basically, it's
Yeah, go
being
ahead.
built basically as a feminist reimagining of the Bride of Frankenstein, and seeing it was also billed as something of a political act, which indeed it was. And as we said in our post-mortem published yesterday, which I know a lot of many people didn't see. Because notifications weren't sent out for it because we're shadow banned deluxe. So please check out our post-mortem of it. One of the things we reveal there is that of that 7.2 million, and I think maybe it'll come even lower, like when we got Monday actuals, less than half of that were female tickets sold. The
Mm.
majority audience of this one was male. More men than women went to see this movie, which basically means that we're talking like $3-something million worth of women went to see this girl boss fest movie. That's less than will pay tickets for your average Jason Statham and Sylvester Stallone movie. Just keep that in mind as we discuss this. Chris, with that in mind, carry on with what you were saying.
Well, what I'm seeing, what's so wild is you've even got some of the trades, which are usually reliable shills, particularly for feminist narrative films, talking about people walking out of this movie, reaching a point in the and I've only walked out of, I think, 2 movies, Black Christmas and Girls Just Want to Have Fun. So in my entire time of seeing movies, and I don't want to hear anybody in the chat tell me how great Girls Just Want to Have Fun is. I don't care, or Black Christmas for that matter.
Which one?
The one from the early aughts.
So the first remake.
With
Yes,
Dern?
exactly. The first remake. Yeah.
With
And it was
Dern?
a packed house. But I'm seeing in the trades that people walking out, and it is gruesome. It is constant sexual assault on her, killing, violence. It's sort of like this. It's like Joker 2 meets Natural Born Killers. Because it does get into these dream sequences with song. I don't know who gave Maggie Gyllenhaal $90 million to blow on this, but man,
She's not getting that again. That's for sure.
no, that's it. That's it. The bridge is burned. But didn't Warner Brothers put this out? Am I wrong? Is
Yes.
Yeah.
Yes, it's Warner.
Warner has actually been releasing. The DiCaprio movie that just came out. They are really still putting out, these progressive fever dream films, and I hope this is it. I did a piece over the weekend about this after I saw some of the reviews coming in over at Bleeding Fool about how there's this constant anti-male narrative in Hollywood, and it goes all the way back to the 70s, of course, back with the Stepford Wives and so on. But this is, I think, sort of the big moment when maybe people just finally get sick of it. I don't know. I'm not sure. Even women were walking out of this movie. They just could not take it. And I thought at first it might be something like Mother. You remember that Darren Aronofsky film that came out a couple of years ago with Jennifer Lawrence, Mother, which was also kind of a bizarre fever dream about the burden of motherhood and all this stuff. I thought it was going to be much closer to a Polanski movie, but I don't know what it was. But this apparently is something else. I don't know if any of you guys have seen it, but I know you've certainly seen the reviews and the reports on the walkouts. Surely, what do you guys think?
Yeah, I also saw the trailer, and I was like, dude, that's Harley Quinn all over again. That was my first thought. Harley Quinn, and just the look of the characters. I was like, I took one look at like that black goo in that chick's face. I'm scared.
It's like it looked like a Hot Topic production or something. As a matter of fact, I've noticed a lot of people like on Reddit or in responses to reviews are thinking that this is Lady Gaga in the role.
Yeah, I don't blame them for thinking so.
Yeah, it's kind of it's a pastiche of all of that. So I just a bizarre choice. And I remember seeing the first trailer for it maybe 3 months ago, I think. And I thought this is a strange choice.
Well, it's being compared to Joker 2.
Yeah.
And then if you look at it, the aesthetic looks like the Suicide Squad. So it basically looks like a Joker Harley Quinn wannabe movie.
Harley Quinn, that's what it looks like.
Yeah. And
Gyllenhaal had never even seen The Bride of Frankenstein until recently.
Oh, well, that's what I was thinking. I think she was sitting around getting high, drinking a little
totally
wine.
Misunderstood what the whole movie's about.
Yeah, exactly. It thought, how dare they do this to her? Doesn't she have any agency of who she's
No, the whole
marry?
point of the movie is man creates monster gets left behind, gets pissed at man, kills man's bride, says, make me a new bride out of that monster. Man says no and takes the fuck off. Monster goes after him. Like, that's how the story goes. The girl has little to nothing to do with it. She is a sacrifice, right? What is she going to say? Why did you bring me back to life? Like, what else is she going to say? Like,
yeah,
it's so stupid. It's like, you may have watched the movie, but did you actually understand it? And I'm being very simplistic about it, but still.
Well, and this movie is being called one of the most evil movies of all time. I saw a video Desparo did over the weekend also. It is just the lesson here is that to be a villain. I mean, it's really celebrating the villain as a hero.
Well, that's what I'm getting at is like, first of all, she's not even technically a villain. She's a victim of circumstance, right? She's just a part of the story. But at the end of the day, in the original book, from my memory, Victor says, no, I'm not going to bring her back to life. So there technically is no bride. That just happens in the original movie. Right, so she's basically doing like a Wicked thing here is what she's doing.
Yeah. I mean, it's hard to talk about a movie we haven't seen.
That's right. Yeah. It's true. But I can certainly take my friend's words for it. And Christian Toto did a fantastic review on it over at Hollywood and Toto. And of course, you guys have seen all the other reviews. I don't think anybody has come out. Well, Rolling Stone loves it. So.
Oh, really?
Mm-hmm.
Well, I'm not surprised.
They wrote a
Rolling Stone is right now an establishment rag. So
yeah, that's right.
Their opinion is pretty worthless to me. I mean, they love The Acolyte. And
I knew you guys all knew were Rolling
Stones against
so
any fan that had an issue with The Acolyte.
Well, it's interesting because I have no plans to see The Bride.
Yeah.
The first trailer was like a year ago, whenever it was kind of cool. Oh yeah, we got to see it. And there's more and more information. I'm just never a fan of Maggie Gyllenhaal, and her directing appealed to me even less. There's some very, it's either you love it or you hating it. That film, from certain critics that I know, including one on our own website who gave it 8 out of 10. I was like, yeah, cool.
Wow, Grace Randolph even hated it.
We definitely don't, censor our film critics, as far as like, oh, you can't like it, oh, you like it. We just put it up. All right, there it is.
Yeah. And what was their overall reasoning? Not that they have to give an excuse for it. I mean, you're not grilling them.
Anthony, you're not grilling them. Like, what do you have to say to your defense?
I mean, to end this, I'm just reading off of his review, which is up on the site. This is not going to work for everyone. It is strange, bold, and unapologetically weird. But for those who appreciate dark, layered stories wrapped in striking visual style, The Bride stands out as a compelling reinvention that I can easily see revisiting in the future. So,
Yeah,
Wow.
that's his last paragraph.
yeah, that's not an unreasonable thing to say.
I mean, you know, it might be. I mean, but I don't think $90 million justifies
Mm.
that. Maybe
lot
I'll
of
see it on a streaming night.
So,
Well, I
so
think
how much did Christian Bale get?
I could find out.
Well, he's the one that got away with this scot-free and with the biggest paycheck. That I can tell you right now. So
Oh, yeah.
after him, it's another high paying
for you. And how was it?
Good for him, if anything.
I've not heard a single review that mentioned him at all.
Not really. I mean,
Right.
you're right, Paul. But I think the bigger story here, honestly, is the fact that, and you guys kind of brushed on it, and Andre kind of pinpoints it in his video, is that the press is actually the opposite of what they normally would be with this movie.
Right.
Normally they'd be going like, where were you? Why didn't you come out and support this movie? And we lost Andre. Why didn't you come out and support this movie, basically? No, instead they're going, this was a bad move. The audience is tired of girl bossy movies, basically, or feminist driven films. And I mean, in Gyllenhaal's defense, I have yet to hear her flat out say that it was pretty much a feminist driven agenda type movie. But in all her responses and what she's talking about it's kind of easy to draw that conclusion. Because even in her interpretation of the original film that I was kind of, going through quickly there, it's like, you don't even understand the context of the film, do you? The bride is not like this character in a sense of like, she's like, a stifled, female of the time, just like, and it's not like Frankenstein needed the female perspective. Newsflash, it was written by a woman, right? Like, did she forget that? Like, I mean, at the end of the day, this is just like, I can see where the press going the other way is kind of the bigger story here, because that means that the media is no longer supporting this kind of thing, right? Like, that's kind of the bigger picture, or bigger story here, I think.
And one more thing to add to that, Tom, is that this was supposed to come out last fall in October.
Was it?
And they pushed it back to this time because Jessie was getting all the buzz over Hamnet, which will probably win the Best Actress.
I figured they didn't want to compete with the Guillermo one, but maybe, I guess, okay.
Probably maybe that too, but it was supposed to come out in October.
Because this is like, what, the fourth or fifth Frankenstein kind of movie in the last few years? Even Poor Things was basically a sequel to Frankenstein.
Like a derivative.
Kind of similar.
Yeah.
I mean, we've had a lot, but including the Benicio del Toro one. I mean,
Yeah.
maybe the audience is Frankensteined out a little bit too on top of it all.
Poor Things. We mentioned Poor Things in that article.
Poor Things, yeah.
That's
It's
another one of those man-hating movies, because every guy in that movie is a ledge. Awful.
I didn't see it.
Some of the trades. Well, I don't know. Phantasmag, I guess. I'll drop the link in the chat. Says misogynistic reactions can't stop feminist Frankenstein reinvention The Bride from being one of the boldest studio films ever. There's your link.
But you also said something interesting too, Tom, in regards to, or I think it was Tom, in the release of these man-hating movies out of Hollywood. It's really strange because the new streaming films, right? The new films that are streaming, they're basically, kind of like your muscular, hero movies like War Machine, The Wrecking Crew, The Rip, which have done fantastic numbers as far as streaming. And I've seen all three of those now. War Machine should have been on the big screen, man. That was a badass movie.
Yeah.
Yeah, you were talking about that last night. I mean, well, what this also shows with something like Wuthering Heights, which even though women are hating it, they're still showing up in droves to see it. Right? Like, that's the thing. And now this movie did not get them out in droves. And I think and welcome back, Andre. I was just going to bring you up. As a kind kind of going to your point of the video in a way, is that women won't support something like this, but they will support Wuthering Heights, whether it's good or not, because it was made for them. Even though this was something that was made for them, they may not necessarily see this as something that was made for them in a good way, because they would actually probably more or less see the more romanticized version of Frankenstein than this, right?
Yeah.
I think they'd rather see the Benicio del Toro version than this,
Yeah.
because
I think
they
the
like
way,
that aspect. But yeah,
the way to look at it is, this movie may have been made for women, but the genre isn't made for women. And
or if
so
not,
you
they
have
prefer
to-
the
so-
original. Yeah. So
But
yeah.
they don't understand the general audience of who women
Anyway,
are.
sorry, I didn't mean to interrupt Andre's point. Yeah.
Yeah, yeah. Which is, it was the same thing that actually Grace Randolph made in conjunction with Star Wars when she did her own post-mortem. So, like, I'm not going to steal her points for myself, otherwise I would do that. But like, for full credit to her for acknowledging this. But what she said is that what was so sad about Kathleen Kennedy is that she had gone out of her way to make women get into Star Wars. And the target woman that she wanted to get into Star Wars were women like Amy Peeler, who has like the new podcast and stuff like that. And then Grace brought up a point where Amy Peeler ridiculed Star Wars. Like, I would never watch that. And that's after a decade of Kathleen Kennedy having gone out of her way to make Star Wars appealing specifically to women like her. This was in conjunction. This was when they were talking about Andor, like one of the things that get the most highest praise. And Amy Peeler was like, I've never watched. I don't care what reviews it is. It's like the Star Wars garbage. I'll never watch that. And that kind of like illustrates the point. Doesn't matter that that individual thing may have been made for her, when the entire genre, subgenre, franchise, brand, call it what you want, is fundamentally not for her. It's being forced into something that she's going to like, but she's still not going to like it because the off-putting thing is bigger than what may be appealing. It's the same thing with something like The Bride. Here you have a kind of genre movie. It looks and plays like a genre movie, which is something that has more inherent male appeal. That's just the way that it is. But now you make it so it's unappealing to men and more appealing to women, especially radical women. The very kind of women that will shun genre movies like this, like the plague, as a general thing. They won't go to it no matter what. So the audience that would go to the movie, you just let know this movie ain't for you, and the ones that otherwise would find the story appealing, they're not going to go because the brand is not for them. So it's a perfect storm of things that
think-
I mean, honestly, they're probably more attracted to like War Machine or the Wrecking Crew.
Well, and I see Andre's point. Had they marketed, now I'm not saying you could have made this movie exactly as it is, and it still would have stunk and people probably would have hated it. But if you had marketed this movie as a modern take on Frankenstein starring Christian Bale, I bet you people would have looked at it a little differently.
That's how it started, though, because they originally showed Christian
Correct.
Bale
Yep.
with his shirt off and tattoos and stuff.
I remember that. And I know people were kind of like comparing it to the Joker thing, and it
Yeah.
kind of was tainted from the start, don't get me wrong. But I still think the reaction from the audience, you would at least gotten a better opening weekend. But then people would have come back saying, oh, it's basically a Joker Harley Quinn movie disguised as Frankenstein.
Yeah, they
right?
would have had
Or-
a better opening. I think you're right. What do you
But I
think
think, yeah.
Hollywood's going to learn from this, if anything? What do you think? Well, learn or react? How
I
do you-
think they already know. See, and this is what I was getting at with the media's reaction to this. I think they're already sending the message out there is that this is a fuck up. We knew this was this is leftovers. We got to get through this shit because this is something that was probably first started in 2018, 19, 20. I don't know, maybe not that long ago, but like
Well, you're
back
probably
in
right.
the,
I think you're right.
back
That's
in the
probably
woke
right.
era.
during the super woke era, for
It's
sure.
a
And,
minute
and that's
to
why
get these
Gyllenhaal
things
got it
down.
made in the first fucking place. And now they're like, fuck, we're stuck with this piece of shit. We got to try and get it out there. We spent $100 million on it. Give it a little bit of advertising. Maybe the kids who are into Joker will go see it.
Jesse
That's what's-
Buckley's hot.
Yeah. So
Yeah.
like they had a few things that were like, let's take a shot at it. But I think they already knew. I think they kind of had an idea that this was not going to go well. And that's why the media is is tooting the horn they are.
And
That's
this
why it
is
was a
the
little
best,
late in early
the best
March.
lesson for them is this. What a huge bomb this is.
Yeah.
And the subject matter is like, hey, it's your feminism. This is all on you guys. It's all on you. Boom. And no one gives a no one gives a no one wants to watch it. And not to say there's not a little niche audience for movies like this.
Yeah.
But you give the budget, Tommy, you give them like $10 million. Go do your film.
Exactly. Yeah. If you made this movie for like 10 million bucks, I'd be like, look, Gyllenhaal tried, bless her for trying to do something a little different. Well, however you want to look at it.
Yeah.
But this is like the Bros all over again, only it's not as bad because Bros, they should have fucking known better.
Yeah.
In this case, I can see why they did what they did when they probably did it. But as time went by, they're like, fuck. Because especially with the reaction.
If the budget had been lower, she would at least be able to pitch a new movie again. I don't think she's going to be able to.
Yeah, this is going to put her in director jail for at least a couple of years. You're not wrong.
I mean, what did she directed before? See, this is
I don't know.
She's produced more than she's directed. She's produced more movies than she's directed. The Bride, Lost Daughter, Best Summer Ever.
What has she directed? Because that's a different
The Lost Daughter and Homemade.
I don't know.
Movies that aren't even probably in this kind of vein.
Nothing.
But
That
this goes
Christian
along
Bale
with the
would star in. Yeah.
Exactly. This goes along with the Disney thing though too, right? And let's take Maggie's acting part out of the equation, right?
Yeah.
We're seeing another female director being put in a position where she's directing a film that she has no business directing because she has nothing in her repertoire to say that this is what she should be doing. Right? Like, look, you can say what you want about certain directors in the past. Paul knows what I'm getting at here. They all paid their dues. They did music videos, they did commercials, they did tons of stuff to get to movies. Finally, then they would do like a little, not quite indie, but kind of indie major film where you get a little bit of money. And then if they do well with that, then they give you your big budget film.
I'm not entirely in agreement with you on this. I mean, she's been in the business long enough that I think she could have absorbed this. And a lot of actors have jumped directly from acting to movies.
Yeah.
So, I mean, the guy who started the Sundance Festival in particular, what's his name? Butch Cassidy. Redford. So I don't think there's a hard and fast rule on that, Tom. I'd be very careful being as dogmatic about that.
But she's like Elizabeth Banks, right? Remember when Elizabeth Banks came out to explain to all the toxic males that the new Charlie's Angels wasn't for us, and then she got to do Cocaine Bear next, which was another total bust.
And she blew that.
Yeah,
she totally fucked that up.
She's got more movies coming up. She's working on something called Red Queen and The Greater Good. She's got other things in the hopper.
I was hoping that Cocaine Bear would show that she has, and I hate to use the term, male sensibilities for being stupid.
Yeah.
And she doesn't. She missed at least 50 jokes.
Yeah, it had all the potential for something.
It had all the potential for
you talking about Banks?
Yeah.
With Cocaine Bear.
Funnier than what she really is. That's the problem.
Yeah. Well,
Holly, what was that?
She thinks she's funnier than what she really is.
Yes, and that's it. I mean, again, guys bring a wonderful assholeness to these kinds of projects.
Yeah.
Well, and Cocaine Bear is a perfect example of how you shouldn't. It writes itself, and you shouldn't be able to fuck it up.
Yeah.
And somehow she managed to fuck it up. Like how do you fucking do that? It's called Cocaine Bear. It's literally this. You get a bear, somehow gets a hold of some cocaine, kills a buttload of people. Boom, there's your fucking movie. How hard is that? You just go into the same kind of tones as a Sharknado type film almost. You don't have to be that goofy, but just kind of lean into it, tongue in cheek. Yes, you know what you're doing. Cool. Instead, it was this meandering mess of it doesn't know if it wants to be a comedy, doesn't know if it wants to be a horror film, doesn't know if it wants to be a Ray Liotta movie. Ray's in a completely different movie.
Ray Liotta.
Poor Ray.
Yeah, he's in a completely different movie, and that just goes to show you that the director had no sense of where this thing was going. She had no vision for it. She had no real idea. And I'm not saying it's the women aspect, but again, is Gyllenhaal somebody who, and you didn't read anything on there or tell me anything on her list that tells me that she's at this level where she should be given $100 million to make this kind of a movie yet. Yeah. That was kind of the point I was getting to.
I heard Bride looks fantastic. Maybe she's another one of these.
So she found a good cinematographer?
Yeah, maybe what she needs to do is have someone else write the script and she can direct. properly. I mean, look at poor Zack Snyder. I mean, our conclusion is do not let him write anything. That's the bottom line.
DP only, Zach. Get over there and run the camera, baby.
I mean, it's such a drag because Watchmen was absolutely fantastic, right? I mean, I hate
He adhered to the source material at least.
Yeah, I can't stand it when directors kind of pull a switch and bait on me and go, "Oh, this guy's great," or "This woman's great." Doesn't matter. I mean, a really good female director was the woman who directed Big, right? She
Penny
had
Marshall.
Penny Marshall. So she
Penny
had
Marshall.
a heck of a time
Yep.
proving herself, and she cranked out one hit after another. But even then, it's a guys' club. I totally understand it. It's not fair.
Well-
to it. But Penny Marshall, holy smokes, you could tell that she had the comedy royal
the
jump,
chops.
as I call it. She really
Paul,
got it.
She had the
You
chops.
go back to the 80s and 90s.
Rank.
Yes.
I mean, come on.
We'll go
You
back
go
to,
back to the 80s and 90s, and you had a buttload, or at least a handful, at least, of really good female directors who
Amy
would
Heckler?
run circles around this.
Amy
Yeah,
Heckler?
Penny Marshall was one of the first ones I would have brought up too. Amy, you've got Penelope Spheres, who ended up doing Wayne's World and stuff like that. You
You
had
got Catherine Bigelow.
yeah, that came out of that same era. Yeah, so I mean, there was a ton of them back. Even not just that, but like female entertainers, right? Like nowadays, they seem like they're so disposable compared to what they used to be.
and then also add that they came out with commercially successful movies, huge
Yes.
movies.
Yeah. I mean, Catherine O'Hara, who we just sadly lost, look at her as a great example of somebody who's so versatile as an actress. She started more or less as a comedian, and that was kind of her strong suit, but she was all over the place. And she was just one example of a good character actress from the 80s and 90s. There's tons and tons more. Gyllenhaal, like, I just don't see where she is at this place where she's ready to jump at this juncture to a movie of this caliber, I guess was my main point.
She
Well, I
also
mean,
she-
produced
She did a few
Well,
rom-coms and some other stuff, then maybe, but I don't
I
know.
wonder how much of her own money she put into this because she was also the producer. So
Well, it looks like she's a Hollywood insider, darling,
mhm.
and she struck Oscar, gold with the Lost Daughter.
Yep.
Technically, it was made for $5 million, then, but didn't even make $1 million. So it's like, okay, they just
How
love
does
it.
that compute?
Right? It's like, oh, they just love because it was a critical darling. So it's like, oh, well, let's give her the bride. No.
And that's kind of the thesis too on a lot of these Oscar bait movies.
Yeah.
Have this kind of same anti-male narrative. I'm hoping that Hollywood does learn the lesson on this because this was just so in your face. Hollywood used to do the anti-male stuff with a lot more subtlety. We cover sort of this film watch piece on the Queen's Gambit. I'm sure you guys saw that Netflix series. Well, did you know that the Russian chess master female sued Netflix and got like 80 or 90 million dollars because what they tried to do was change history in the movie by saying that the Russian chess female master had only beaten other women, had never played any other males. And by the time this movie, the era it was in, I think it was 1959 or something, or no, 1960 something, she had beaten 59 men playing chess. It was just there weren't that many chess players. Women weren't being kept out of chess competitions. They just weren't playing. It's like as many garbage truck employees, more men than women. And I guess it was sort of the same ratio in playing chess, but at least it was so subtle. I mean, that was a good series. If anybody saw it, I thought it was
Loved
very
it.
enjoyable. Yeah. And there's plenty of other movies, particularly the Oscar bait type movies, and like Anatomy of a Fall, Barbie, Poor Things. I mean, some of the movies we've mentioned here today also do that very same thing.
Although I don't know where that comes from because I followed Judith Polgar, who's
Okay.
Hungarian and a grandmaster chess champion that went up against not Sharansky. Anyway, the top Russian guy.
Yeah.
And she had a brutal time at the very beginning that followed quite along the lines of what the Queen's Gambit followed. So it wasn't happy, joy. She grew up in communist Hungary, And man, oh man, they did not give her an easy time to play men. They wouldn't let her play men even. This was
Okay.
something.
Are you talking about Kasparov? Is that who she played?
Yes, Kasparov. Yes,
Kasparov. Gary, I think. Gary.
yeah, Gary
Kasparov.
Kasparov, who actually tutored her. It was
Okay.
they have an amazing relationship where she was way too aggressive and didn't know how to play what is called the end game, and Kasparov was brilliant at the end game. And he was so frustrated with her that he actually invited her to his island and taught her how to do the end game, just so he could have someone to
An opponent.
an opponent to challenge him.
Yeah.
So that's a very interesting story. In fact, her entire family were chess champions. So that's a different story.
Well, that
But
sounds
she
like a
had a hard
better
time.
story.
Pardon me?
That sounds like a better story, like a true story.
Yeah, actually, in many ways, it's a better story than Queen's Gambit. And Queen's Gambit was just a bit too safe in terms of how she burned through all those men and Judith Polgar was was a true grandmaster. Great story. Not just because she's Hungarian and my parents were Hungarian. That doesn't mean anything.
Nona Gaprendashvili is the player who wound up suing. She's 84 now. She's still alive. She wound up suing them for, it looks like maybe it's an undisclosed amount, but back in 2022, the judge said, yeah, it looks like you've disparaged her in the TV show.
And how did she get disparaged? Sorry, say that again.
Because they were dismissing her level of being a chess master by saying but the reason she's won all these accolades is because she's never gone up against any men, when in fact she had already beaten like 59 men at this point.
Oh, I see.
Yeah. So a very good and shrewd lawyer said, yeah, we can get some money out of Netflix for that.
Yeah,
but Netflix never apologized. I mean, they were just trying to say, hey, it just made a better story.
But men have been punching bags for a long time.
Yeah.
I mean, even going back to the Cary Grant comedy days, that's not unusual. But if you could take a look at Sandra Bullock's Sandra Bullock's Freudian slip there. Rom-com that had Tatum.
Channing Tatum.
Yes.
So he was played for a fool. I mean, you're watching that. It's a comedy, but you're going, okay, this is another movie that is very anti-male.
Yeah.
Now, great. Pitt is in it.
Briefly.
Yeah.
Well, and imagine that. See, that's another thing I can't figure out is like when women like men, they don't want to see them as bumbling fools.
No, they don't.
Yeah.
Right. Like that's the whole thing. They want Michael Douglas in Romancing the Stone. They want the Mel Gibsons and insert your film here, the Harrison Fords and insert your witnesses and all those kind of movies. They want to see a competent male being a good man doing things that, make them go, oh, I wish he was mine, or, that kind of a thing, like that's what they want. And it's the same thing with guys. They want to see men doing heroic, good things. And yes, once in a while, it's okay to bend the rules a little bit and have a little bit of a reluctant hero or, what have you, but they still do the right thing at the end of the day. And there's certain aspects to them. And making a movie like The Bride, like I get it. You're trying to do this Bonnie and Clyde thing, kind of play into the whole Harley Quinn Joker romance aspect that women find appealing nowadays. And it should on paper work, but it didn't because it feels disingenuous. And I think that's the word I've been looking for this whole time. If
Based
that makes
on the
sense.
reviews, it sounds like it didn't work because they were not a particularly good couple. Well, I can't remember. Was it Gary who said that that the woman was a horrible person in life, and so when they dug her up, she remained a shrew, and he was making and where did the brain come from? What was the name on the brain? Abnormal.
Yeah. Right. It was a brain attack.
Abnormal.
In the movie, though, her name was Karen.
For sure.
Yeah.
Anyways, let's keep going.
Let's keep going and move on from here because there was a couple other, but
you do have a super chat about The Bride, I think.
Let's grab that then. That's a good idea.
Patrick, it looks
Let's see here what we got. Patrick says, has anyone watched the new seasons of Scrubs? It pokes fun at what I think very funny. The bride sucked. I kept looking at my phone. Oh, well, that's not good.
Yeah, I have not watched the new season of
And
Scrubs.
then on Hoppers, Drew Tipton says Hoppers sounds like it would have been a fun episode of The Simpsons with Lisa. Maybe it would make more sense.
Yeah.
And then Mario Trillo and Cy for Chaos have both. Well, Mario has been a member for 38 months, and Cy gifted a membership. So there we go. That's the difference
Nice.
there. So thank you so much, guys. So that
Greatest
catches us up on the
members
super
ever.
chats now. But yeah, as far as the rest of the box office goes, more of the same stuff held over. There wasn't a whole lot of new releases. I mean, I'm just looking at this going, looking at certain movies that are still playing, like Zootopia 2 especially, that's on streaming now already.
Yeah.
It's like, do you see what you're doing to yourself? I hope the theaters or the studios realize how much the theaters do help them.
Yeah.
Look at Protector. Speaking of Girl Boss.
Yeah. Wow.
And Mila is a well-established female heroine, and this is tanked.
Yeah. What's Dolly? IFC film. What is that?
Is that about the ram that they made? Nope.
It's a horror movie, I think.
Ah.
Yeah.
Macy, a young woman, is
IFC.
abducted by a monstrous figure intent on raising her as her own child. Okay.
It says it's offering a fresh idea on serial killers. Yeah.
That's what I want.
Yeah.
That's what we need. You're right.
Speaking of Shudder, didn't they just end their change their streaming subscription? What am
Something about it. I didn't see exactly what it was, but
something happened, and some people are
and
mad.
it's something to do with the last drive-in with Billy Bob Briggs. I know that. Maybe they canceled that or something. Oh, I did not know what the hell Dolly was. Now I know. So there you go. Well, that's the top 10 for the week.
That's right. Okay.
There you go. I think we're done.
I think we're done with that. Yeah.
We should go to the theme park.
Yeah, so there's a theme park story because I have very little to add about theme parks, and sadly, we don't have Marvin with us this morning. But there's a rumor going around that Paramount and Warner Brothers theme park could be built on the lot following Warner Brothers studio merger. So Andre, what's going on here? Because they have basically an empty lot that they could do this with, is what they,
Well, the lot is not yet empty, but
it will
basically,
be. Yeah.
yeah, all of the studios, they have a lot, and the lot is somewhat of an iconic thing with loads of iconic buildings where loads of iconic meetings have set, loads of construction took place, tons and tons of various assets that can be monetized in some. Well, not all, but some more than others. But anyway,
I just got to say before you get too deep into this, because it's funny, in 2023, Warner Brothers actually demolished a bunch of their backlot buildings, and this is what that viewer was talking about a week or two back with the Bewitched house. So this is what was going on. Like, I guess, I don't know if it was Zaslav's choice or somebody's cost-cutting choice, but they felt that they could use the lots for better use and not save these buildings that were being basically saved because they were Hollywood history.
Well, I'm really curious about this rumor because I was thinking about
this is the empty lot. Sorry, that was my finishing point. Sorry, go ahead.
I was thinking about this all weekend long, just as far as the logistic and topography of both studios. I'm like, how the hell are they what is going on here?
Yeah, because the idea likely would be because now it's two studios, which are both under the Skydance label. So why don't you just keep one production lot, and what about all the real estate of the other? We'll turn it into a theme park. That seems to be the idea. And from this article, it seems to me that what they would be doing is keep the Warner lot, where, as Tom said, demolition already has happened for production, and then recycle the Paramount lot into a theme park. That seems to be the idea. Polly, you're nodding your head. Why is this a bad idea?
Okay, so the Paramount lot is much older spot in Los Angeles. It's kind of southeast Hollywood, like the location. And it is basically surrounded by neighborhoods. It's in the middle of a neighborhoods. Whereas the Warner Brother lot, it's more of a open spaces, big spaces, ranches, so to speak. You have the Warner Brothers. You see that water tower a lot in a lot of the openings of the movies. Comparatively, the Paramount lot is a congested, big square. Plus, it's connected to the Forever Hollywood cemetery. I mean, right now they run walking tours, very successful walking tours in Paramount that are really, really cool. I pulled some photos from that. You go into prop rooms, you go into sound stages, but Paramount's working. I understand the idea. I mean, how much of this? I didn't read this article or not. How much of this is rumor? Where's the source?
Well, yeah, the source is Matthew Bellany's Puck magazine. And Bellany, he is someone pretty connected, as we have covered before. He used to be the editor over at the Hollywood Reporter. He was the guy who broke that Kathleen Kennedy was going to retire, and then she didn't, probably because of that scoop, until he then reported back like 6 months later. Now it's happening, and then a week after that, she confirmed she was retiring. So when it is in Puck magazine by Matthew Bellony, then that is something that you do not want to dismiss out of hand. And I can certainly see why they want to do this, because that is a space where neither Warner, Paramount, nor Skydance are right now, other than, of course, licensing out properties, because you have like Warner right now, they're licensing out Harry Potter Land to Universal. They're licensing out the Looney Tunes characters to the Middle East, where there is some kind of like Looney Tunes theme park indoors, no less. But now they have so many other things that they can exploit between Warner and between Paramount. So I can perfectly see why they would want to get into the theme park space.
So, with all that being said, in my opinion, logistically, the Warner Brothers lot is the only one that could work. Without, it's close. It is closer to an airport. It is very close to a lot of major hotels connected to Universal. It's not far away from Universal at all. Logistics, like it's just right over the next little hill. But I'd assume that's someone that they're using more as far as working space.
That's what I was implying. They would use the WB lot for the new park, because at this point, look, the other side of this is they're going to get rid of, they're not going to use 2 studio spaces. One's going to go. And it seems like so far Paramount's been the one that's going to be the one to win or be the hub for the home, and Warner Brothers is going to be the subsidiary now. That's what it feels like with everything that Zaslav has done. Now, I don't know that for sure. I'm just going by the assumption, but yeah.
It's because because there's a third old Hollywood Warner Brothers lot that I haven't really followed up on in a long time. But okay, going back to the Paramount, let's say they do Paramount, which is right off of Melrose. These roads are nightmares already. Traffic nightmares. Single lane, going up and down Gower to a Hollywood to the Hollywood freeway. I mean, I was just like racking my brain around it. How would they even? It's one thing to transform your own lot. I get that, Andre. Right. So let's say they transform the OG Paramount lot. Got the sound studios. Godfather was there. You got the Paramount water tower. That is like just a logistical nightmare. It would take years. And if this is something that you want to do quicker, it's the Warner Brothers.
Here it should be noted that the article ends with, at this stage, however, the idea appears to be exploratory rather than a confirmed development project. So yeah, it would appear that this is something that someone was spitballing around, and it got to baloney. I don't think that that there is anything more concrete here. And also, how big are these lots? Could you even do a theme park there, or would you have to buy significantly more surrounding area in either of them? I don't know how big these things are.
Depends on what would you have in mind to put on them?
Well, the Warner Brothers lot is massive compared to Paramount. And Paramount again is like, lack of a better word, landlocked.
Well,
Yeah,
it sounds like if they're going to do this, it's the Warner lot they want to use, and not the Paramount. Then they want to keep the office at Paramount and
Right.
use Warner, which of course makes sense if he has his heart set on Paramount, which certainly seems to be the case when it comes to streaming, since he's keeping Paramount Plus and shutting down HBO Max.
Yeah. To me, you can work out all the logistics on this, but Paramount has done theme parks before. They sold all their theme
Well, yeah,
parks.
National Amusements used to be the owner of Paramount, and they had the Six Flags deal and all that. Yeah,
Well, they had
one in
Kings
Toronto.
Island, they had
Here's another thing
Great
people are
America.
missing.
or Great America, not Six Flags. Sorry.
People are saying in the studio in the chat, Warner Brothers made more important to Paramount Studios. None of that matters. It's about the logistics of production. Which one are you going to keep open for your own production sakes?
Yeah.
Right? Your own studio, your sound stages, etc., etc.
Yeah.
The logistic one would be Hollywood, would be the Paramount, because that's that is easy to get to for people for production. What's a trip is that Sundance is way on the other side of town in Santa Monica. So
Time's out.
is Tom out?
Yeah.
Okay.
No, but I'm here, so it's all good.
Right. And I'm not talking about the brand. I'm talking about like just the logistic of it. Is that also too, if you do it in Paramount, right, there is no close airport to it, which you're going to think about, which is the closest airport, which has the best routes, and which has the hotels next to it.
Mhm.
So that's Warner Brothers. But the Warner Brothers lot is beautiful, man. I'm just like, wow.
It just almost seems sacrilegious though to tear up a historic studio just to put in some roller coasters
Well,
and theme rides, you know.
That's where I was kind of thinking, because I guess that was one of the things is that, all right, here's the thing with Hollywood and other businesses. Basically, when shit's going bad, they start getting rid of things that are just cost them money, and they aren't really bringing in any revenue.
Yeah.
And that's kind of my understanding of what happened with the lot. Because even though it was housing all these famous exteriors from famous TV shows and whatnot, they weren't utilizing it. So they knocked all the houses down so they could possibly rent out the space, is my understanding. So they have all this empty space to do with it. Now that Paramount bought this, this is where I'm saying they're consolidating everything. They don't need this space, but they probably don't think they can sell it right away, or if they're looking at, well, what do we do with it if we can't sell it off? Well, one option is possibly to do a theme park, I'm assuming, but go ahead.
Paramount is mostly just a bunch of stages now. And you know what I would do is go back and put in each one of the stages, make it a walking tour, put in each one of the stages the set of the most famous sitcom or a bunch of good ones like Cheers, Night Court, or whatever, and have a bunch of actors imitating the actors who were originally in it. And you run maybe 4 times a day a fake shoot of that one episode of Cheers, of Night Court, of All in the Family, right? And you just go from stage to stage, and you can just wander into it. And once you've sat down, you watch an entire episode, and you see actors pretending they're dancing, and everybody else, Shelley Long. And that's it. It's kind of like going to Disney World and watching a Star Wars recreation or Indiana Jones recreation. Just have them recreate the classic sitcoms of decades ago. I think the actors would love it. I would watch it. I'd go.
Well, they would have work too.
Yeah, it would be work, and they do it 4 times a day. You could even memorize maybe 4 different Cheers episodes.
Yeah. So people might have some repeat viewers.
Right.
I think that's to me, being able to keep the existing infrastructure in place, but kind of pay tribute to sort of the history of the studio and make it a tour. That's an interesting idea, and maybe you knock a few sound stages down for some sort of
Here's the
fair.
thing we're kind of dancing around, and that is kind of my point before, is that the fact that they're debating this means that they don't think they can probably sell it. Like, that's my point, is like they look like they're probably going to be stuck with this thing, which is a big piece of land. And what are they going to do with it?
Well,
they're nobody's renting this space, is my point. That was the whole, so because nobody's making movies in fucking Hollywood anymore because it's too goddamn expensive.
The economy sucks.
Yeah. So at this point, what are they going to do with it? This is where I'm hearing this in some meeting. They were just spitballing ideas of what to do with the space, most likely.
Yeah.
So, and it also is just signaling to me that Warner Brothers is going to take the brunt of most of this shit, and is going to be non-existent.
Yeah, because they're the new toy, and it's like nobody who's in charge is sort of beholden.
Has any sort of exactly. They have no history with Warner Brothers. They don't give a shit. You're right, Chris, 100%.
Yeah, it's a shame. So I hope they don't put a roller coaster on the lot, tear it down for a roller coaster in a haunted house or something. Initially, I thought, well, why not use the sound stages and, like, Peachtree Studios or some of the ones here in Atlanta, not here in Atlanta, but just south of me, that do a lot of work with Marvel and Disney and things like that, just for sound stages.
I just think they can't rent it out. I think they don't have enough productions being done.
Yeah, it's just too expensive out there. Yeah.
And the other side of this, as you guys brought it up, is like what's going on with like a lot of their things, like Harry Potter. Sure, Warner Brothers has the rights to it, but they don't have the park rights because Warner Brothers no longer has any parks, as far as I know, right? So, like, their whole thing is like they probably want to get back into the game of compete. This I could see too, is if Ellison brought this up or somebody brought this up, as far as competing with Disney at this point. Because now, I'm not kidding. Because what else is left? I mean, you got to go after them. Universal has a park. Disney has a park. Paramount Warner Brothers will have a park. And then you'll go in there and you'll have Bugs Bunny and Yogi Bear and everything like that, like they do at all the other parks, with their characters.
Yeah.
And it'll be just like Six Flags and the other one all over again.
Hanna-Barbera parks, I think, at one time. And I think those Paramount.
We still have a Yogi Bear Jellystone official trademark park in Wisconsin Dells. There's only like two of them left in the country, I believe.
Really? Wow.
Yeah, you roll up and there's a big freaking sign with Yogi Bear on it and everything. Yeah.
The bear out front should have told you.
Yeah. Park's closed. So, no, I can see them, and I can see Ellison playing with this idea very seriously, because that's the next area they'd have to compete with the other guys, right? Like, that's the next level. And now you do have the IP. Like, even if you don't own all of them outright, I mean, you still got Ninja Turtles, you got SpongeBob is another big one, Dora the Explorer, all those Nickelodeon properties they got. You could have Nickelodeon Land, you can even do MTV Land with Beavis and Butthead and shit.
I don't know. I think that this is probably, as the article
South
says,
Park Land.
Just one more idea to raise some money.
I just talked to a entertainment lawyer about all this.
Really? Wow.
And he says there is no effing way they will do it in the middle of Hollywood, the Paramount lot. It absolutely won't happen.
Yeah.
Just logistically wise.
How about Warner?
100%. Because he was saying too, he's like, this is another thing you guys you have to realize. A lot of productions aren't in Hollywood anymore. So you don't need both of them. You're absolutely right, Tom. You do not need both of them as far as to be producing movies and television here. So Allison's probably like, well, let's make one into a theme park. And like I had said, logistically, that Warner Brothers is that it's teed up for you. I don't know, T-ball, like it's right there on the silver plate, Andre, so to speak. So logistics wise,
Warner looks like because I think it's actually a brilliant idea, and I can see it being a huge hit. I can see there's a demand for this, and if they already have the real estate in the Warner lot, you bring all your Beavis, Butthead, Star Trek, SpongeBob, Turtles, all the stuff that they have that is not already locked up elsewhere, and you recreate like sets. You do Cheers, you Big Bang Theory, you do all kinds of these experiences. I can see this being a huge hit, and that would allow them to get into a new field. I mean, if Ellison really has these ideas, I can only give him credit.
A huge back of the lot runs up against the LA River. So basically, they have two private entrances that goes up along the Hollywood Hill. What I'm saying is that the thoroughfares, the access, it makes way more sense. They have a street called Hollywood Way, which goes to Burbank Airport, goes through with the Warner Brothers up over the Cahuenga Pass, and it's like what? It's a three to two lane thoroughfare. Yeah, it and right across the street on one side of the Warner Brothers lot is the entrance to, you got it, the back lot of Universal. On the other side on the east side of the Warner Brothers lot, across the street, uh, uh, Disney Animation. It's studio heaven over there. That's what I'm just trying to say. It's
It's more centrally located. Is kind
well,
of the point,
no,
right?
it's more. It's no. Hollywood technically is more centrally located. Hollywood is too congested with actual neighborhoods and people.
Mhm.
What I'm telling you is that it's quicker to get to an airport, Tom, as far as Burbank, but it's just vast studio lands, which is really cool. That's always that's that terrain, that part of town. You go right over the hill, and it's Universal to the left, Warner Brothers, Disney, NBC, all that stuff.
Yeah, and I'm being corrected in the chat because I guess I was wrong. Yeah, Shadow Dancer, the Red Mage says truck driving, Jellystone Park still in many states from Maine downward. And then Drew Tipton says we have Yellowstone or Jellystone here in Texas too. Yeah, I looked it up. I was wrong. It was the last two left in Wisconsin. That was my fault. Sorry about that. But anyway, back to this discussion. Yeah, I can see that being what's going on here because why? What else are you going to do with it if you can't sell it and you're not going to utilize it yourself? But then it also makes me wonder, are they really going to be able to shoot or make 30 movies a year? Or
That's
how many?
exactly what I was thinking, Tom. What happened to that promise?
Yeah.
Tommy, we must have been reading my mind, man. What do you think that lawyer just said to me right after this?
Go ahead and let us know.
That shit's not happening.
Yeah.
He's already taken it back. The insiders, he's already taken it back.
I figured there's no fucking way.
Yeah.
They don't have the infrastructure and they don't have the money. And where are you going to pull all this from? Sure, you just bought another studio, but neither one of these studios were pumping out that volume of films. Like ever since COVID hit, they just haven't.
Yeah.
They haven't been able to. And I just don't see that happening in the next 5 years. Maybe 10 they'll be back. But that's assuming the film industry is going to be back up to where it was 10 years ago. And I'm sorry, kids. Guess what? The peak was 2019.
It ain't coming back.
It ain't coming back.
No.
Because we're in a whole different frontier now.
Yeah.
Now, to acquire and distribute 30 films, that's more like it.
That's a different story. That's a different conversation.
Story.
Yeah. And we kind of brought that up as that's the only way they're going to be able to do this.
Right. That's what we talked about last week. But it was he what was funny because I had him for a minute. This is in person just right now. I had him for a minute outside and he was dropping off his dog. And I'm like, hey man, did you hear about this, Puck rumor? This and that. So we talked about that. And then he brought up the Ellison. He's like, well, it makes sense. Because Ellison just lied and now he's taking it back. I'm like, what do you mean? Oh, he's not doing 30 movies a year. Like, oh snap.
Well, points to Tom. Tom was the very first to have a visceral reaction to that. Whereas everyone else was more moderate, myself included, or perhaps especially myself. But don't underestimate Tom. Like maybe being belligerent, but often correct, as certainly was the case here. Because you have the inside track right here. Ellison is walking the 30 movies back behind the scenes.
Behind the scenes. Yeah.
And why would he go out so aggressively and put himself in that situation in the first place is what I wonder, because no one were expecting him to do 30 movies a year. That's an expectation that he placed squarely upon himself.
Because he wanted the support
Correct.
of the industry.
Correct. Tom was right. Right. Even I wasn't agreeing with Tom on that one. I was like, no, it's going to happen. And then, no.
Well, all you had to do is look at their turnout from the last few years.
Well, and one of the reasons why he's probably he's walking it back so early instead of later is because it was an empty promise, right? It was this empty promise of, I'm going to keep y'all working. So he could try to keep people in the industry on his side, but because the media has already flipped the industry on him, at this point, he's like, well, he's not going to hold to it. He can't hold to it. There's no fucking way unless you acquire all these films. So yeah, you might release 30 films under the Warner Brother and Paramount banner in a year, but they're literally going to be shit movies that nobody heard of, or horror movies that even Blumhouse wouldn't touch with a 10-foot pole. Right? Like, that's basically what you're going to be stuck with.
Like The
Because there's
Bride.
no indie market anymore. And I think Paul's brought this up too before. I know Script Doctors mentioned it, that there just isn't that setup anymore where you can go out to the market and buy movies like you used to do, where you had these indie producers making these smaller B-level type films. You just don't have that like you used to. All that stuff's on streaming now.
Yep. It's a new world.
The more I think about it, guys, I think what a brilliant idea to make that Warner Brothers a theme park. And you got all the Warner
I
Brothers.
know, right?
Oh my God. Because tourists around the world, they're already used to going right across the street. Universal Studios, hotels. I was like,
The crappiest part is you got to wait out the Harry Potter license. That's the crappiest part.
oh, really?
Yeah, because Universal has that.
Yeah, but there's ways to work around that, right? I mean, maybe for the first couple of years, you guys partake in, you get a cut of the theme park stuff here in LA. But
They might be able to get around it by doing like a Fantastic Beasts themed park, but they'll just have to wait it out. They got other things in the meantime they can. I see it. Like, it makes total sense. You've got all these properties, and this is what Ellison's really doing anyway, because let's make no mistake. This wasn't about buying another studio. This wasn't about getting the Warner Brothers logo. This wasn't about the HBO brand. This was about getting all those IPs so they could feed Oracle and feed into things that they can monetize, because that's what the future of the industry is. It's who owns what, who has the most players on the board, basically. Who's got the most figures. That's really what it's all boiling down to.
Right.
Who can sell the most stuff out at the end of the day.
Can be very, very fascinated by this, man. But it's the space is there, the logistics, everything. Because again, I said, I'll say this one last time. Right across the
Star
street
Trek land
is Universal, right? And what does Universal have? You have a working backlot. You have your tours. Then you go up and you have the Universal theme park. And that's when I say up, you go up the hill. That's owned by Universal. You have the Universal theme park. I'm sure people have done that here, which is connected to the Universal City Walk, which has this massive parking lot structure, and they share the same thoroughfare. So I'm like, wow, that's pretty cool.
Exactly.
I mean, this makes sense on paper. We'll see how it turns out.
Yeah.
Interesting
agree.
scoop.
Yeah.
Makes great sense on paper. Total sense on paper.
But speaking of things that make sense on paper, it did make sense on paper at one time for Midnight's Edge to start at 9 a.m. Central Standard Time, but it's like 7 o'clock in the morning for Paulie, and it's 1 o'clock in the afternoon or noon at your time, Andre, something like that over there.
Later, not just afternoon.
Yeah. Okay. So things have not exactly worked out the way we've wanted to, so we're going to move things back to the original time schedule, it sounds like. But to kind of get everybody back in the mood or with the time change, because that's the other thing, is Andre's got 2 weeks before the time change actually takes effect in Norway.
Well, not me, that's everyone listening in the US.
Yeah, outside of the US. So I think the plan is, for now, or correct me if I'm wrong, Andre, for the rest of this week, we're going to start the show at 10 Central Time, which would be 11 Eastern.
Basically, we'll move back 1 hour. One
hour for an hour, and then basically the following week, then we'll move back down to the 11 o'clock Central time period. We used to be 9 a.m. Coastal time on Paulie's watch. So keep that in mind, guys. We're going to be going back to the older time, starting with going back to 10 o'clock Wednesday and Thursday this week, and then next week it'll be the standard time we used to broadcast
So
back
just
in
to
the day.
be clear,
Right.
I'm not clear at all.
Yeah, Wednesday
Yeah.
and Friday this week. We will start at 11 a.m. Eastern, 10 a.m. Central, 9 a.m. Mountain, 8 a.m. Pacific.
It's
for
only
the rest of
confusing.
this week.
Yeah, it's only confusing for the Americans, because for anybody outside America, they will barely notice the change.
No, it'll be same
the same time.
time as last week.
Well,
Today,
Yeah,
for us,
exactly.
1 hour behind. We're starting 1 hour later, Chato.
This is the one time we're actually
For how
going
long?
against the American, just for,
For this week.
And then next week we're going to go back to our old time.
Noon
Oh,
Eastern.
which is
yes.
12 o'clock.
Yeah.
Yes.
For you, yes.
Oh, so the 10
So-
o'clock experiment didn't work.
Nah, just didn't. Nobody seemed to find us that we were hoping for, and it just wasn't doing anything that we were hoping it to do. And if anything, a lot of folks were just upset that we moved. So
Now at our old time.
yeah, back at our old
People are
time.
creatures of habit.
Yeah.
We've noticed this. Trust us, especially with our intros.
So
They don't like it when we muck with our intros at all.
So people in the chat, Tom, hit your alerts.
Yes. I
Please.
over-explained. Yes, I'm so sorry.
Nah, you did great.
No, I did not.
I won't be available this Friday.
That's usual. You usually like once a week. You're kind
I
of
support
like,
you during your. I support you. I
you're
support
doing
you.
your hokey pokey cult stuff.
Yeah, well, Paul is there most of the time though. So
I'm
yeah.
kidding. I'm just picking on Paul.
Yeah. Jeepers.
Jeepers creepers,
Jeepers.
man.
Yeah.
Square. Don't be a square.
Yeah.
How about
Oh,
that Canadian baseball team? Oh boy.
Oh, come on.
Oh boy.
Yeah. Your Puerto Ricans beat our Puerto Ricans. I get it.
I actually saw some white people on a team on Canada.
What?
Yeah.
But
What,
stay
tonight?
tuned Wednesday. We also will be doing another special announcement, hopefully on Wednesday as well. So
Yeah.
Stay tuned for that.
Oh yeah. I'm excited for that one.
So have fun on Friday without me. I am.
We're still here
indisposed.
Wednesday, man.
We can't
Yeah, you'll
have
still be
fun
here
without
Wednesday.
you, but
So
we will.
Wednesday it's 11 Eastern Standard Time.
yes,
I'll try to show up.
an hour later than it is now.
Right.
The normal
And
time.
that's just for this week or for the next?
Just
2
for
weeks?
this week, because then we'll switch to the normal time for us Americans. But for anybody outside of U.S. and Canada, it'll be just normal. Like they won't notice the change because we'll have just shifted back into the normal time schedule. If that makes sense. Probably
Right.
doesn't.
We're doing the time warp again or something.
Let's do the time warp again. You put your hands on your hips and bring your knees in tight.
Well, it's always later here anyways because of our colder climate. The electrons go slower through the wires.
That's right. Yeah, it's streaming live there an hour after it's streaming
Yeah,
live
it's
here.
because it slows to a crawl. I mean, you know what
crazy.
happens to electrons when you cool them.
But if you'll watch it and record it at 1.5 speed, you'll catch up to us by 11 o'clock.
That's right.
These go to 11.
All these physicists out there are tearing their. No, Paul, that's not how it works.
This is not a physics show.
You listen to our brains here. Like, Paulie goes to 11. Chris brought that whole thing up. I'm just thinking of that line in Ghostbusters where Lewis talks about recording the aerobics workout and then playing it at double time. So he gets at 2 times the speed so he can get it done in half the time or whatever.
Right.
Oh,
Yeah.
that actress passed away from the Ghostbusters.
That's sad.
Yes.
Yeah. The one that Bill is basically hitting on in the beginning of the film. Yeah.
Runyon, Jennifer Runyon, I believe. Rest in peace. And then also,
yeah.
today, we marked the anniversary of Raul Julia
Yeah.
as well. So I believe he was either born or he lost his life today. Let me double check on that. The great
Yeah. That's
Raul
a
Julia.
big difference usually, but yeah.
Yeah, I just saw it online.
Oh, it's worth celebrating either way. Celebrate their life and legacy.
Concur.
He was born today, March 9th,
Happy birthday.
1940. There you go.
Great actor, lost way too fucking soon.
Way too early, man.
Way too early. I still say Street Fighter killed him, but that's just me. Let's see what the audience is saying here. We got Alice Dust, 1442 with £4.99. Says Andre, I saw Wind Rose, Hammerfell, and Powerwolf in London, UK on Saturday. Are you a fan of these? I was gonna say, this sounds like a hell of a show here.
Yeah, I'm familiar with them. Not a huge fan, so I would have liked to be there. I love going to concerts, but I'd be lying if I said there were posters on my wall, and that their records were hanging on my wall on display. Yeah, so I like them fine. Not a huge fan, but I'd go to the show.
There you go. I don't know much about them other than I know there were bands. That's about it. Jason Webster says, coming soon, the King's Algorithm. Russell Crowe is a mathematician unraveling a conspiracy with script written by someone who never met a mathematician, a conspiracy, or coherent plot. This Christmas. Drew Tipton says, did anyone go to Star Trek Experience in Vegas before it closed? I didn't go to the experience, but I saw what was left of it when I did get to go to Vegas, the Star Trek deal. And everybody talked about how cool it was. That's all I remember.
And Paramount Park screwed that up too at the end. It could have gone even longer.
And there's something, and I brought that up earlier, that's another thing they can exploit. Star Trek. Can you imagine a whole Star Trek?
My gosh.
Oh, Star Trek land, yeah.
Well, I mean, there's that they've reproduced the bridge in some place upstate New York.
Mm-hmm.
Yep.
And how many people? I mean, it was the set that Vic Mignogna did continues on that sort of stayed up and running in Carolina or North Carolina or something for a period of time. Like a lot of people were interested in it. I mean, I would say that if Paramount redid the exact same bridge at Paramount Land, I'd go there.
Yep, a lot of people would.
I had put together a couple of photos of my tour at Paramount. You guys want to see them?
Yeah. You could even have a Starfleet Academy deal where you can go for like a week or a weekend. That could even take the place of the whole, because the Star Trek Las Vegas thing is almost like, last time I knew, it's not even technically Star Trek anymore, I don't think, because the license thing was all weirded out, or they're separate now from what it used to be. So it's like its own generic thing. And then Star Trek does a separate thing, I guess now. I don't even know. It's all fucked up. But like, yeah, they have treated the fans so badly with their fan event things that, yeah.
So this is the walking tour I was telling you guys about that exists. It has existed.
About your time.
And I guess it's still processing coming up.
Hurry it up.
I'm on Opera, so it's different.
Okay, well, while you're doing that, Jason Webster says the bride stinks worse than any sewage treatment plant. Ooch. It will leave you running from the cinema screaming, unclean, unclean. Well,
Jason's he's trying to get that last second toast in there, isn't he?
I think Jason saw the film too. Well, while Paulie's still looking for that, we do have a bit of quick news that Andre might be working on a new video about. Ladies and gentlemen, he said he'd be back. I'm back. Christopher McQuarrie is going to write and direct an Arnold Conan movie. Trust me. This is going to happen this time. Well, this is news all over the fucking place. Oh, yep. Here we go. Speaking of Arnold, there's a Terminator.
Right. Oh, yeah.
No, that's all good. Perfect segue. But yeah, real quick, Andre, what's your response to this news? And you have to get a hold of some people and find out how real this is.
Yeah, I'm, well, it's real. It's very real. That I can
very real.
But beyond that, I'm looking for updates right now. Haven't gotten any updates just yet. I want to just verify what I can share before I share anything.
I was gonna say, because this is a hot topic, kids. This is
Trust me, bro. Trust
me, bro.
Yeah.
Christopher McQuarrie,
Mission Impossible.
Yeah.
He's so awesome.
What I can say right away, though, is that that it is the same King Conan script that has been that has been in the works for more than a decade now. So this is not the original script that was written by John Milius in the early 2000s. That was gone out of the window the moment when Schwarzenegger ran for office and he was elected. Then he didn't need to do Conan anymore.
Yeah.
Then when he came back after his stint as the Governator, then he wanted to do comebacks. He did comebacks for the Terminator, and he wanted to do a comeback for Conan as well. Problem was, at that time, his comeback didn't really pan out the way that he had hoped, especially not the Terminator comeback. And Universal, which had the rights at the time, they had the script ready to go. The script is actually based on another non-Conan book. It's written based on the script Legend by David Gemmell, where it's basically rewritten. So it's the old warrior king Druss that is then written into Conan for the story here. Because the problem is all of the original Conan stories. I mean, King Conan is in his 40s, early 50s, at the oldest in them. So Schwarzenegger has aged way the F out of any Conan story. That's kind of like the challenge. They looked for something else, and now it's another decade down the line. So what Christopher McQuarrie is doing is he's rewriting. I don't know how extensive the rewrite is going to be, but last I heard, it's that same basic story, Legend by David Gemmell, which is now being rewritten once again by McQuarrie. Is it going to happen? Is it more real this time than previous times? That I don't know. I know that Schwarzenegger wasn't supposed to say anything about this, but he did it in conjunction with also revealing that Fox, that's Disney's Fox, are talking about him, about returning for Commando Part 2, in addition to another Predator. Now that we know is real, because you know that animated Predator movie, King of Killers? Well, it has an extended version, which is right now pretty much the only one that you can find on Disney Plus. That extended version is the new canon version. What's the difference between that and the original animated King of Killers, whatever it was called? Well, now it features a cameo by Dutch. That's the difference, because they're setting up for Schwarzenegger's return in the next Predator movie, which probably is going to happen, because even though Badlands didn't do gangbusters at the box office, it was a massive hit on Disney Plus, or on Hulu rather, which bodes well for that. And so the next one probably is going to bring back Schwarzenegger as Dutch. And then in terms of Conan, that's what I know I can share. Beyond that, I don't know. I have to check anymore if there's any more updates. I don't know anything about the distribution situation,
Right.
how far along it really is. I think it's early days.
Well, I would assume we probably have a video coming on it very shortly then.
Oh, we do. We totally do. I'm just waiting for like feedback with like, what more can I say? What happened with that other project I was super duper excited about, that I can't wait to tell you all about if indeed it happens. Or if it is completely and totally dead so I can share it anyway. That I will just have to wait and see.
Hopefully Arnold will stick around.
Yeah, the problem is that it should have been done a decade ago.
And I actually had heard about the Predator thing. I don't know if I mentioned it on the show or not, because I remember saying something about the Predator, because there's a big plans for Predator and Alien going forward.
Yeah,
I know that, and I know that was part of the deal, was they were trying to bring Dutch back out into the mix. So we'll see how that rolls. Stay tuned for Andre's video. In the meantime, real quick, Paulie wanted to share his slideshow here of his tour of Paramount.
Bang through it. Muted.
Yeah, it's a walking tour, so you start there, and you can see right behind us on the lot. And we didn't take too many photos, but this is, of course, the one with the Terminator. And then me and my friend, it's just really, really awesome, man, because they take you to these sound stages, and they're telling you like almost ghost stories about some history of the particular sound stages, and they were there as well. And then I believe, I'm trying to remember what jacket that was. Movie that's
Chester the Molester. What is that?
Come on, man. Come on. Please don't. Tom, is that Darkman or?
Yeah, it looks like Darkman.
Well, it looks like Darkman.
Yeah.
Right.
Yeah.
But look at all the big, huge props behind me as well. I mean, the place was amazing.
Yeah.
If it's not Darkman, this is Paramount?
Paramount.
Then it might be, because Darkman was Universal. Paramount, it might be, what was it, the Phantom they did there?
Okay.
It's not something from that, is it?
I don't know why I don't remember. This was a few years back.
I don't remember that coat in the Phantom.
Maybe it's not the Phantom. I don't know what it is, but it's not looks more like something from Batman, but they didn't, unless they shot something there that's not a Paramount picture. I don't know.
Yeah,
I can't really tell what it is. I can't see what that picture
Yeah,
is. behind this thing either.
That's the movie, the Unbreakable with Bruce Willis. Which studio was that?
That was Disney.
Okay, oh, it's not that then.
I think it had to do with old Hollywood. You know what? I don't know what I'm talking about. Let me
Oh,
show you.
then it's really old Hollywood.
You know, but it's definitely on the rack where they're allowing people to put on. So, that's one of the main thoroughfares of walking on the lot. I just want to throw that in there so you can see kind of like the terrain a little bit. It's there's a lot of old buildings with newer ones. There's an actual new Dolby Theater that they show the latest movies there in regards to, like, Sinners was just playing there Friday. It's an invite thing. I saw Mission Impossible there, and then we were there for a Dr. Phil invite that we had gotten into. Okay. And then I remember I told you it was connected to the Forever Hollywood cemetery, Tom.
Yeah.
So this at the end of the tour, and we were going through at night, and I believe this was during the Halloween. So it was like a Halloween iteration of the tour, ghost stories and everything. They took us through the Forever Hollywood cemetery. We're talking from Hollywood figures of over 100 years ago to people like Chris Cornell was laid to rest there. So that was pretty amazing.
I mean, that's good for random tourism, but it's not good for a theme park. Like, they're not going to want to.
No, right,
Yeah.
right. No. That's what I'm saying. Is that it's just how do you like uproot a cemetery? Like,
You either move the whole goddamn thing.
Yeah.
You moved the gravestones, but you didn't move the bodies, did
I was
you?
about to say, I think they made a
Great
movie
picture,
about
Paul.
that.
That's a great pick.
Oh man.
Yeah. And then really fast across the street, which is another great site, is called Lucy's El Adobo Mexican restaurant. Tommy, I know you're gonna love that. If you ever come here, we'll take you there, bud. But it's got all the famous people and their signatures on there. It's an old school retro 60s restaurant.
He says this as she's standing closest to the George Lopez picture.
But there's Andy Garcia.
I know.
And
That's the
didn't
one
have
that stuck
time-
out to me first.
Man, I have the Ricardo Montalban close up, but I'm like, well, you don't get to see the restaurant, you know.
No, there's a movie star, Ricardo Montalban. Yes.
So yeah, that's
I see Andy though. Yeah, I see it. Yeah,
that's
pretty cool though.
It's set right, like that's a historical landmark. Paramount is a historical landmark. You're not going to uproot that.
No, you don't want to put a theme park there. In Warner Brothers, it makes more sense probably all around.
Oh,
But
they had
go
a
ahead.
poltergeist scary story. I'm not even going to repeat it.
Well, let's get to these super chats because we're already a little over time.
Okay.
Destiny Captain says there's still hidden stuff from Star Trek Experience at the casino behind the gift shop area. Is there? Really?
High rollers only.
Yeah. Shadow
Probably.
Dancer the Red Mage says, I've been to Space Camp. If they copied it to Starfleet Academy for real, I would go. Yeah, that's basically what they got to do. It's kind of just basically a what do you call it? A junior version of Space Camp, but kind of with a Star Trek theme, you know, and just yeah. Anyway, ActionCom says, have you seen these new AI tributes where where actors of shows or movies meet their older selves and either sit down or take selfies? Sometimes they're on a train, sometimes they're on a set. Yeah, these have been around for a while, ActionCom.
Yeah, I've seen tons of them. Some
they
of
were
them
kind of
are
one of the
really
earlier
cool.
AI ones. Sorry, go ahead, Andre.
Yeah, like I've seen tons of them. Some of them are really cool.
Yeah, I like them.
Yeah, others need work. But
Yeah.
But but the really good ones, they're actually really, really heartwarming with like the older and the younger version coming together, helping each other out, like offering just support through their nod, through the look. Some of those stuff have some real heart to them. And Hollywood needs to worry about that.
Yeah.
Because it only goes to show that, dude, AI is just a tool, just like everything else. If you have the right person doing the prompting there, I mean, it can be done amazing. You can get rid of so many people and still have some real heart and impact in your movie.
I saw a good one where it was basically someone taking a tour of all these sets. So he goes to Cheers and he does the selfie. He's got the Cheers cast with him. He goes to different strokes. He goes to, all these different shows. It was fun. Yeah, it was fun. It's fun.
I'm just looking right now at a Kamala Harris one. Oh my God.
There's some really impressive ones there.
Right. Oh wow.
Kamala Harris, I have not seen.
She's just
That
she's
I
in a
don't know.
one piece twerking.
I was about to say, I don't even want to know, considering like, let's just say that I think that she and my future queen have a lot of stories about their hoeing days to compare. So
Ooh, yikes.
yeah.
What I miss?
And when I say my future queen, I mean literally like the crown princess of Norway.
Oh, I thought you meant your wife. What?
No,
You're getting married?
no, that I was like, just to remove any doubt there, I was referring to the actual.
I was
crown
so
prince
confused
of
for a
Norway.
minute there.
Yeah, no,
That's what happens when you step away for a second.
yeah.
All right, kids, let's wrap this up because I think we've covered all the super chats. I think we got them all. I don't think we have any Rumble rants. We're good there. Everybody's got a roll. So, Chris, let's start with you. What's going on over at Bleeding Fool?
Bleeding Fool.
I guess we
is
do have
still
a Rumble rant I got to get, but go ahead.
Oh, okay. Just we're kind of currently poking fun at some of the rumors about Daniel Radcliffe playing Wolverine in the X-Men. Yeah, that's a no. That's a non-starter. And we're getting into how Sony keeps somehow making Spider-Man movies despite one flop after another. So that's on now. But yeah, just check out bleedingfool.com. Here's hoping that Paramount hires somebody like Les Grossman to run Warner Brothers, and we don't get any more of The Bride. Let's just hope, right? So,
Hope springs eternal.
yeah, that's right.
Yeah. Meanwhile, check out that write-up over at Bleeding Fool.
Oh yes, thank you very much.
Yeah. And
I'm not seeing Garvin's rant. He did a Rumble rant. I'm not seeing it, Andre. Do you have it?
No, I don't.
Well, what the hell?
Those rumblers.
Oh, he says, "Hi, I'm late. I win." Unless you sent an earlier one, Garvin. Did you send an earlier one too? Because I don't have it on my end here. But anyway, continue with the outros while I'm trying to find it.
Yeah. Polly.
I'll be live tonight, 8 p.m. Pacific time. We'll be chopping it up. Come on by. Thanks.
Awesome. Yeah, and Mr. Chato, how about you? Got any?
I'm just finishing off my expose on Latino slant. It's going to be nasty. Just wait till that comes out.
Yeah. Now you can have like a picture that you can grab from this about how he's working with the Terminator to take over humanity.
Well, my and shitification video has been doing very well, so I invite you to watch that on Call Me Chato, and there will be hopefully today an appalling news. But they take so long to write because I do a lot of research actually as to whether the news items are correct, and I try to dive into them, for the jokes. So
yeah,
how dare you actually try to do journalism?
People have accused me of being more journalistically accurate than the mainstream press.
It's fun when you get
shame.
accusations like that. I've had quite a few of those myself over the years.
Those are good.
Yeah.
Well, it's kind of like that moment we've hit that crossover plane on so many things. Like I remember when the Daily Show, it went like there was a point where that was like more news.
Yes, I agree.
Yeah.
Like it was kind of like we're getting to that point, and now Babylon B is the new Daily Show. It's like so that's where the plateau is crossing now. That's how much farther we've come in this time.
And John Oliver is a waste of time.
Yeah. Well, go check that out, folks, and stay tuned for more updates and announcements later this week. Wednesday reminder: we'll start at 10 Central, 11 Eastern time for everybody in the Americas. So remember that. Andre, you'll have to translate that into foreign times.
Yeah, okay. Foreign times, no change. Same time as last week. Today was the off stream.
Okay, there you go. See, and that's the thing is it'll work out foreignly. Like they'll notice like nothing changed. It was like weird.
Yeah, exactly.
All of a sudden. All right. With that, as Andre says,
it is time to bring out the koalas in the rain.
Koalas in the rain, koalas in the rain. No fucks given.